on this week's episode of Damsels in the DMs.
Hi, damsels. Thank you so much for your help with this qualm. I just turned 30 and I'm still single. Honestly, I feel really badly about myself. I wanted to be married with my first kid by 30, and this makes me feel like it's too late for me. I feel like I'm too old to be attractive and that men like younger women. How do I feel better about this time period and find a partner? Is it too late for me? Sincerely, 30, flirty, and terrified.
This message is intended as a reminder that we are not licensed professionals, not psychiatrists or psychologists. If you have a serious problem, please seek professional help. The National Suicide Hotline is 1-800-273-8255. That's 1-800-273-8255.
There's some damsels in the DM.
Yes, queen.
Tell us what's the vibe. There's some damsels in the DM. Please tell us what's the vibe. DMs, yeah we see them, yeah we read them. DMs, we don't need them, we just leave them.
Please.
Yeah.
It's going down in the DMs. Bye.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Damsels in the DMs. I'm Lauren.
I'm Aash.
I'm Alejandro. Hello.
And today we are doing an episode on all things Aash. Can you even believe it?
Can we even believe it? She is
We are
not
here for it.
No, I'm really excited about this because if anybody follows us, then you would know that Aash has been traveling to Europe. She started in London, and I think we talked about it a little bit last episode, or last host episode, but now you're in Paris living your best life. Tell us about this decision, why you decided to do this, and all of the nitty-gritty details.
Okay, so I am turning 30 next month, and I decided to gift myself a solo trip to Paris because I've always been dreaming about doing this. And I thought that, why not start my 30s over here and kind of just explore and see if this is a city that I vibe with. And I've had so many dreams and visions of being here, and I just had never been here as an adult. And so I thought, why not try it out?
When it comes to traveling alone, I feel like you never know what you're gonna learn, not only about the place that you're going to, but about yourself in the process. Have you learned anything about yourself since being overseas?
Yeah, I mean, when I first got here, I was actually really terrified because I I didn't really know anyone, and I was really scared because I was like, it feels really lonely over here, and I feel like I need like a partner or I need someone. And I just had this this need for someone other than myself. And I actually journaled about it and was like, why do I need someone? Like, this is a solo trip. Like, why are you forgetting it's a solo trip? You don't need anyone here. It's okay to be alone, and it's okay to feel alone. And that feeling's going to go away once you realize that you're actually it's pretty cool being by yourself. And so that feeling did go away a couple of days later. It really didn't take that long. I started just exploring and meeting people, and I've met so many cool people here, so many cool friends, and I've just been growing my community, which has been really cool. I've been here for not even 2 weeks.
So people who want to go there, how have you started meeting people, whether it's just friends or partners? Like, how have you gone about expanding your network as you talked about?
So, there's three ways. One is friends of friends. So I do have a friend who has a friend here, and she made the connection. And so I'd had this one point of anchor, who has lived here. He's lived here for a while, and he's basically my go-to person. If anything, if I need anything, he's just like the sweetest human being and gives me just helps me out so much. The second part is Bumble BFF.
Hmm.
I never had been on Bumble BFF before this. And for those of you who don't know, it's on the Bumble dating app, but instead of the dating feature, you can switch on a BFF suite feature. So people who are not interested in dating but just want to find friends, and there's a lot of girlfriends on there that you can find. And I went on 3 Bumble BFF dates so far, and I love all 3 of them.
That's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, and then the third is Hinge, to go on dates with guys and, see what it's like to be dating in Paris, which has been a little interesting.
What has been interesting about dating in
Yeah.
Paris?
So I have been on 2 dates so far. This is me coming clean to the world. I've been on 2 dates so far, 2 different people. The first person was really cool, like, good on really amazing on paper, but then like in person, there was no like nothing there. It kind of just felt like he was really trying to impress me, and that kind of made me feel a little sad for him because I was like, I don't like, just be yourself, and like, let's just have a cool conversation and vibe. And he smoked cigarettes. Like, I know it's a very French thing to do, but I don't like cigs. Like, I don't like the smell of cigarettes. I don't think it's sexy. I don't think it's cute. Like, you're like killing yourself. But it's very French. And I don't know. It just, that kind of turned me off completely from the date. Um, and then the second one was this really cool guy, actually. He also smoked a cigarette, but like, I think I saw past that one a little bit just because we vibed really well. And the conversation was so great. And I don't know, it just felt very different to dating people in LA. Like, it's just, I don't even know how to explain it, but it just is very different. Like, it was a little more chill and not trying to show off as much. I'm talking about this guy. The last guy was kind of trying to impress me, but this guy was like, it was just very chill and it felt very friendly.
What was he doing to try and impress you? Like, what
The
examples?
previous guy, just like, he's a lawyer. He went to Cambridge, and so it's like that kind of, just like telling me like about like, oh, well, I'm about to make partner at my farm or this and that. I'm like, it's the first date. I don't really need to know any of that about you. Like, just tell me more about like what you like, what you don't like. Yeah, I don't know. He seemed really sweet though, but it wasn't for me.
Osh isn't
Also,
going to
a
be
lot of
impressed
people.
unless you're like, I'm a Hollywood producer and I'll put you in my next film, baby.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't need a lawyer. I need a producer, a director. Hopefully I don't need a lawyer. Um, but what was the other thing? Oh yeah, I've been noticing people like like have little lies on their profile. Like, a
Like
lot of
what?
people lie about their height.
No, yeah,
Oh.
hate to hear it.
I hate when people lie about their height. We're gonna find out eventually, my guy. Like, I don't know how you're gonna like pretend to be 6 feet when you're 5'8".
That
Oh, so
is
that
so
was
wild.
that's what they said.
Yeah.
Both of them or just the
No,
lawyer?
no, no. No, one of them is 6'4" and feels like is like 7 feet tall.
Okay,
The
well, that sounds
other
like your
one,
type. I mean, you
yes,
like tallness,
exactly.
so
Yeah.
Exactly. The one that I liked was 6 feet, whatever. But this one was like 5'8" or something, and pretended that they were like, on their app it said like 6 feet tall.
But I feel like you
So
didn't really like either of them, no?
no, I liked the second one actually.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I liked the second one. There's still conversations here and there. So it's been kind of fun to like, even just like, if nothing, obviously, like, I live in LA. I want to move to Paris, but this is a conversation for another time. But, like, I don't know what the purpose of going on dates here is, other than like just getting to meet people.
now we don't like to generalize, but I am curious, are there differences between dating American guys as opposed to Parisian guys?
Um, I think, and this is, I've also read this, is that Parisian guys don't like, it's very friendly, like, very like, I don't know what the vibe is. Are you friend zoning me, or do you like me? And you'll find out at the end of the
Ah.
date. But in America, I feel like men are just like, what they, like, what they want. They're very like straightforward about what they want. But here
Mm.
it's more like a dance. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but it just feels very like, the whole date with this guy that I actually liked, like, it just kind of, it felt like banter and very friendly, and just like, oh, is this like a cool friend that I'm gonna have, or is it not gonna be a cool friend that I have?
That sounds
Just to
chill.
clarify, are they speaking in French? Like, are you speaking in French with these or
English.
English? And also, like the one that you said that was the lawyer who went to Cambridge, are both of these people actually French or are they
Yes.
just people living? Okay, they're both French.
No, they're both French. They've both lived abroad, which is, I really like that. Like, I do want someone who's been living abroad and know what it's like to live abroad. Yeah, a bonus if you've lived or spent some time in America. You don't have to, but just because you can like kind of translate for me some things, like, oh, hey, like, I need to go to something that's like a Walgreens. Like, can you tell me where that is? Just like some people who like understand. I don't need someone who's lived in America, but just someone who's like familiar with like the American culture.
Yeah. Have you gone out at all with any of your Bumble BFFs?
I went and I got drinks with one of them. She's really fucking cool, like really cool. She's Japanese and she's a pastry chef, and she
Damn.
went to college in America. Yeah, really, really cool. But we went and got wine. Like it didn't feel like they have this thing called a terrace, which is like the terrace where you like it's like the patio where there's just a shit ton of people smoking and drinking, but it's not like a turn up like everyone. Like there's no music and no turn up. Like that's what I've kind of noticed. Like if you go to bars in America, there's music, people are vibing, maybe people dancing, but I didn't see that here.
I loved the clubs in Paris. That's why I was asking.
Okay. I
Yeah.
haven't been to the clubs yet, so
I
I
kind
don't
of
know.
want
And
you to go just for like the experience of it all.
I might do it for the experience. I'm just not a club person, so I don't know
But
how
they're
I'm gonna
not like American clubs. And they play
Okay.
French music. So it's like very fun and like
Oh,
posh. Yeah.
love that. I
Yeah.
love
Okay. So like you're doing this trip, you're in Paris. Do you feel like you've gotten what you wanted to get out of going there?
Not yet, to be honest, since I've only been here for like 10 days. So it's kind of hard to say, but I have got my answer that I really love Paris. Like really love the city and I can see myself living here and I can see myself like studying and working here. And it's also really cool that it's really close to my family. Like it kind of is like the cherry on top. LA is so fucking far from everything and everyone, like family wise, that I feel a lot closer to my family here.
Mm.
Could you see yourself having like a base in Paris as well as in LA and then just kind of going back and forth or
Yeah, honestly,
yeah.
that would be a dream. I just don't know how I would make that work.
So, and you correct me if I'm wrong here, but like it seems to me that you're still kind of like in this vacation mode in Paris, right?
Yes,
When do you feel like you're
definitely.
going to go back to like, treating it like a career since you're going to be not like treating it like a career, but going like building a routine, I guess is the best way to
Yeah.
put it while you're there.
My plan was to start this week, but then I just have been having so much fun, just like enjoying Paris and taking my time with it. I think definitely because it's going to be a short week for me since I'm going to London tomorrow. I'm going to start next week. I just need to get like all my affairs in order. I have a bunch of I'm doing a lot of acting stuff like admin work anyway, so I'm still kind of working on that stuff, but I need to work on like other stuff to make sure that I'm not just like being a tourist for this whole 2 months.
Well, another routine is really important to you. And now that your 30th is coming up, how would you advise others to kind of like stay focused on those routines, whether they're traveling or at home, especially approaching such a big milestone?
Yeah, actually, one thing that I've learned while being here is that because I was so stuck on routines and I still love my routines, but I just haven't had a routine over here. It's been so like go with the flow, wake up, go get a pain au chocolat or like a croissant. Every day I'll eat a croissant every day.
That's
Like
amazing. Oh my
I haven't
God.
really cared about what I've been eating. Like I've been eating crepes and croissants and like just living my best life. And I've been journaling every day, but it's not at a certain time. Like I have a routine. It's like wake up, journal, like meditate, journal, do this, do that. Like it's in my calendar too, like on Google Cal, like all planned out. But I deleted my whole Google Calendar, like all of the things that I made for it, like my structure. And I've just been going with the flow and it's been really cool. So I
Yeah.
think going into my 30s, like I don't want to have a rigid like I want to be able to be okay with things changing and okay, like I woke up late, it's okay. Or like, okay, I don't want to journal, I don't want to meditate. That's fine. Go on a walk. I don't want to work out. I'll go do this instead. So I'm learning how to like not have so much control over my life.
I'm a huge believer in like shaking up the routine and, changing your lifestyle. I think that's a great thing to do. Like, whether it's every few months or every year, like, I completely agree with you. My routine has just like totally gone out the window. Like, because I just have a lot of class now and a lot more like on my plate. So like I meditate and journal on the subway now, and it just is what it is. If I don't get to work out, I don't get to work out. I haven't been to a workout class since I've been to New York. And
Which
like
is crazy because you are such a big workout class
I know
person.
I only like work out in my gym here or on the bike that we have. But if I get to do that, I'm lucky, honestly. Like it's been a huge whirlwind, but I walk a lot more, which is different. But I see a lot about this on social media. And honestly, like I even have friends who are like, okay, like I'm so and so age right now. I need to find somebody get married, find somebody, get engaged, get married, all by the time that I'm 30. There's like, for some reason, and maybe this is just an American thing, there's a lot of pressure on turning 30. So I want to talk to you a little bit about, like, one, how you're feeling about turning 30, and two, if you had felt this pressure and now that you're actually at this point, how does it feel?
I have always been very, very nervous about turning 30 because of those things that I set for myself, how I'm supposed to have all this stuff done by the time I'm 30. And I have been learning to let go of that. And now I'm just really excited to explore my 30s. Like, I've just heard from friends in their 30s that it's a whole different ball game. Like, it's actually really cool and really fun to be in your 30s and like let go of a lot of things. Like, the 20s were for experimenting and learning and kind of just like falling on your face. And the 30s are like, okay, like I know what I like, I know who I am. And now I just get to like explore the world being who I am. And so I think I'm getting closer to that, like really figuring out who I am. And I think Paris is really helping. And then these expectations of like, being married, having kids, whatever, by the time I'm 30, I had those, but I had to let them go when I was like 27, 28, because I'm like, this is not like, it's just not practical. Like, I already know I'm not in a committed relationship. And when I was 27, 28, I was dating so and so from New York, and I already knew that it wasn't going to be a relationship that was going to be a committed relationship. Like, it wasn't going anywhere. So I kind of already got rid of these expectations, and I haven't had any pressure from society or like family or any of that, which has been great. But now when it happens, it happens. I'm not going to just like focus on that.
Do you feel like now that you're 30 and you're going out on dates, sorry, you're not 30 yet, but you're getting there.
I still have some time in my 29s. Okay.
You have what, like 10 days ish? I take out my watch. 20 hours and 32 seconds. No. Do you feel like now when you're dating people, you feel like you're not going to waste your time in a way? Like, if you feel like the vibes aren't there, you're not giving it a shot? Or do you still feel like, especially that you're in Paris living your best Emily in Paris, Osh in Paris life, that you are giving things a chance that you don't know about?
It's a kind of a bit of both. Like, because I don't know where I'm gonna be, what I'm gonna be doing, it's kind of hard to take it as seriously as I would if I was in LA. Because if I was going on dates in LA, it would be the same thing where it's like, I know what I want. I'm gonna weed out all the people who, don't have their shit together or don't want a relationship or don't want this. But in Paris, it's just different. It's like I'm learning to have fun with it and kind of just like dating to date and get the experience of dating again without putting pressure and expectations on it.
I really love this for you. Like,
Thank you.
I just really think that you're really coming into yourself. Like, I mean, you've been yourself, but like, it's just really nice to see you not being so rigid with things and
Yeah.
just super go with the flow and just like experimenting and letting yourself live your best life. Like, I mean, we've talked about this before, but like, if you really love people and you really love your friends, then like the happiness you see them having washes over you. And I just feel like such a happiness and warmth for you watching you
Oh,
go on this journey.
yay.
And this is the
Thank
last
you.
nice thing I'm saying to you for the day. So don't
No,
get
keep going.
it.
You owe me. Give me a lot of nice things. I feel like I've been complimenting you so much and I can't take it anymore.
Here, I don't see any compliments.
Oh my, what?
Compliments it.
No, it's really admirable to see you taking a risk in terms of like developing and growing a network outside of your comfort zone here in the US or here in LA. And to know that there are these resources like Bumble BFF, like I didn't even know that was a thing. But,
Oh my gosh.
I mean, the fact that it's available and the fact that you're leveraging it to be able to like connect and grow with other people, that's amazing. I mean, I think not many people are comfortable with taking those risks, and to see that you're doing that and allowing yourself the opportunity to maybe make a mistake along the way or maybe not, like the fact that you're putting yourself out there, I think says a lot about, this new stage, this new milestone that you're entering, this new chapter, I like to refer to it
Mhm.
as, of a decade, which, age is nothing but a number. It's all about how we
Agreed.
feel. So like,
Totally agreed.
mm.
Ah. Thank you. I mean, it's been really cool like meeting people here, and I can't move to a city now like at 30. I don't want to start all over and make like that's the thing that's like been like kind of annoying. It's like I don't want to start all over and make friends and make my friend like I love my friends in LA. Like I love my life in LA 1,000%, but I still like there's something about Europe and having grown up really close, grown up in London, just like being so close to Europe and having that like so close and accessible to me, like I miss that and I need that again in my life. Like I know I've always known that I want to settle down in France. Like that's always been a thing for me from when I was a kid. France. I've never said France. I hate that. France.
France, yes.
France.
We-
I've always known that I wanted to settle down here, like have kids here or in Europe in general. So I mean, I might as well just come to Paris and see if there's anything for
I
me.
do feel like you need to give New York a shot though, because that is a lot of like best of both worlds for you, like in terms of having the industry here and having it's not Europe, but like it does give you that city vibe that I think that you crave. I feel
Yeah,
like it would be a good thing for you to give a shot at some point.
I definitely agree because I kind of just skipped New York and came straight to Paris.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
New York always has my heart. Honestly, New York is still like my number one. And it is great because you're right, I do get the best of both worlds. The whole acting and industry and everything is there, and it'll be easier for me to like, work over there. And the proximity to like Europe as well is really cool. But I don't know. I don't know. If I'm gonna be in America, I feel like it's just gonna be LA. Like I think I'm just stuck in my little LA bubble.
Hmm. I don't hate it. I want to circle back to your dating life. And, you don't have to talk that much about this. So, as much as you feel comfortable, there was a potential person who you had sort of had this long romance with. I believe it was online. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
That was something that was sort of exciting that was in the wings with you heading to France. Can you elaborate on what's gone down with that?
Yeah, so honestly, it just didn't work out. It was someone that I was super excited about because we had like 4 years of friendship through Instagram. And finally, I was going to be in his country and we were going to finally meet, but it didn't work out, which is a blessing in disguise, maybe, it just wasn't meant to be. But yeah, that was the main thing that was kind of really getting me down because I was like, I'm in Paris. Like this trip was supposed to be a little different than what I expected it to be. I expected it to be like there being like a romantic interest, someone who like I felt very comfortable with, who I'd known for a while and developed this like romantic relationship with for like 2 months prior to coming here. And when I got here, it kind of was just really sad because I was like, dang, like this was supposed to be different. But it was a blessing in disguise because it opened me up to meeting friends here and exploring Paris. Otherwise, I would have just hung out with this one person for the entire time.
And now you have an excellent connection to the Pain au chocolat
Hmm.
with this new BFF that you got. So, I mean, there are plenty
Yes.
of things to be grateful for.
Exactly. It's
Potential
very
dating
dangerous.
opportunity.
It's very dangerous being friends with a pastry chef. I'm gonna
Mhm.
tell you that.
I believe that. I
Are
believe
you
that.
gonna go on other dates while you're there? Are you feeling like, or what's on the agenda from here?
Yeah, I don't know, honestly. I've been looking on Hinge and there's not that many people that excite me or interest me, so I don't really care for it. I'm also going back to London for a couple of days tomorrow, so it's just kind of like I'm going to be in and out of Paris for a little bit. So I don't know, maybe if someone piques my interest, and yes, I'm so open to going on dates, but right now it's kind of just like I don't know, I want to just like have my own love affair with Paris and not have somebody else like a menage a trois.
Oh, okay. Well, damn.
I do just want to highlight for listeners because I think Osh is doing a really great job at like not being so outcome based in her dating and also just not being so attached to like any ideals that she's set for herself. I feel like we all have a lot to learn from Osh right now that she's just like doing what she wants in life and also, not letting the societal view on an age make her feel one way about it. She's just doing what she wants to be doing and she's not putting any pressure to hit certain things in her life. And I think that's something that we can all learn from.
Thank you. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have this. It's all in my journal. All of my stuff that I'm going through is all in my morning pages, and I still go through all of that. It's just I try not to let it be the focus of or like the center of my life. in my mornings, that's when I take it all out in my journal and I'm like, okay, this sucks. This sucks. Like, I'm not here. I'm not there. Okay. Like, I want this date to go really well. Like, I have all of these thoughts and all of that, but I put it down into my journal. I close my book and then I try not to let that be the main character of my life.
I have a question about moaning pages since I know you both do that. Do you ever go back to previous entries and read them, or is it strictly just like this is the purging at this moment, move on? Or like how do you
So
do you
I
go
think the
back and
idea
review the
behind
material?
it, and Julia Cameron, I think, is the author of the
Yeah.
book. She basically said for the first few months or the first 30 days or something, don't look at what you wrote. Basically, just have it as a burn book. But then after that, you can go back and like see, like notice any patterns, like notice if you're talking about the same thing. And I did that. It was the most excruciating thing I'd ever gone through. And it was during COVID, and I was talking about the same thing incessantly, like incessantly talking about the same thing. And I'm like, whoa, girl, like we need to figure this out because clearly this is not healthy.
Yeah.
I haven't recently gone back since 2020 because it was such an excruciating process. I haven't gone back.
That's
Wow.
interesting. You had that experience, Ash, because I had an experience where like I noticed that everything worked out. Like everything that I was worried about, I noticed that it always found a solution in some way or another. And even if it was like a difficult moment, like there was something that I was able to draw from it that I found to be fulfilling. I haven't gone back like since, that exercise where she told us to come back to go back and look at it. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like it can be a good thing if you like look at it critically. And I was highlighting while I was there and like denoting while I was there, while I was going back in the pages, and I was highlighting it just to see like what insights had been there. It's funny because also now that I'm in graduate school, they really recommend writing every day for people who are interested in like being screenwriters. They'd say like some people journal for like 3 hours every day, but at least like just trying to journal something, they really recommend in like seeking inspiration. And one of the things that they talk about is sometimes you don't realize the little nuggets of wisdom that you'll have in just free writing that can then work as inspiration for some of the projects that you end up doing. So I've been trying to journal more about some of the projects that I'm doing through school.
That's
I love that.
exciting. That's exciting
Yeah.
to know that that practice is really helpful.
Yeah.
And that's so true. I feel like I'm sure both of you had moments of that where during morning pages you find like little nuggets of inspiration or the wisdom that surprise you. I had that happen just the other day. I was writing about something, I forgot what, and no, I was writing about a project, and then I was just like a sentence like kind of like took me back, and I was just like, oh, did I just write that? What?
Mhm.
Oh.
What a nice moment.
Yeah.
There are cool moments. There are cool moments when we have within ourselves that which we need to continue moving forward with.
It is true though. We write about these things and we're so stressed about them, like stressed out about them in the moment. And then when you go back, you're like, whoa, okay, so I really didn't have to worry about this because it did work out. Or you know what, it didn't work out, but I still got through it. So you know
Yeah.
what, Lauren, I am gonna go back and read it and then read it in that light, not like, okay, you were incessantly talking about this. Like,
Yeah.
you're like, okay, you were talking about this, but did we get over it? Yeah.
Be as nice to yourself as I'm being to you today.
Okay, thank you. I will.
Welcome. And on that note, let's get into today's letter.
Let's do it. Hi, damsels. Thank you so much for your help with this qualm. I just turned 30 and I'm still single. Honestly, I feel really badly about myself. I wanted to be married with my first kid by 30, and this makes me feel like it's too late for me. I feel like I'm too old to be attractive and that men like younger women. I've been on the apps and I go out with my friends, and perhaps it's me being outcome oriented, but I honestly feel above hiring a relationship coach or matchmaker because it used to be so easy for me to get guys. And when I go out, I feel like it's only to meet people, and it makes me feel worse that everyone there is younger than me. How do I feel better about this time period and find a partner? Is it too late for me? Sincerely, 30, flirty, and terrified.
Oh my gosh, you're 30 years old, not 150. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
You were so young. Come on. I don't know who, don't let 14-year-olds tell you you're old. Okay. Like
14-year-olds.
13 years, I mean, 30-year-olds are young. 30 is young. I don't know where this is coming from, but we need to immediately get rid of that thought of you being too old to go on dates, or men are not going to like you because you're too old and they want younger women. You're the younger woman. Do not worry.
And being older means that you got your stuff together. Like it's like stepping into 30, like that's just a better decade than the 20s. I mean, Ash, you were already talking about this, whereas like 20s, I mean, 20s for me definitely felt like an opportunity for me to make the mistakes that I needed to in order to figure things out and move forward. And if you didn't try something in your 20s, you can try it in your 30s. And if you didn't try it in your 30s, you've got a whole nother decade to experience more adventure and more success and risks. Because I think that's what's lovely about being able to, like, put yourself out there. And if hiring a relationship coach or matchmaker don't seem like feasible options, then I mean, there are other resources.
I feel
Everyone
a
needing
couple
them.
ways on this. I feel like nobody is too good to do anything. And I just want to put an asterisk on you feeling too good to hire a dating coach or a matchmaker, because I think Erica Etten brought this up in her episode about how, like, if you're not putting in effort to dating the way you put effort into other capacities of your life, then how can you expect it to work out? And I think that's so true. Like, if you are just saying, like, oh, when I was younger, more people came up to me, or like, I'm too good to get this, like, then what do you think it is about you and what you were doing when you were younger? Because you probably look the exact same, that more people were
Mhm.
coming up to you. Osh has talked about this before, but a lot of it is the energy you're putting out and how willing you are to just talk to people. And I think if you're putting out energy that you're only willing to talk to somebody who's a potential partner, then that already ropes you off to so many people, because you're not just giving the greater world a chance. And like, I want to say this in like the most kind way, because I have a lot of, fears about turning 30 as well. Like, I think as an actor, we've all been like made to believe that we have to be successful by that point, that like success happens when you're young, blah blah blah. So I totally understand like how it can be kind of scary. But I also just think you have to realize society is constantly changing and evolving, and that's a good thing. And I really hope that we're also going to live in a world where there's not this ageist perception of when women are attractive and how women are desirable to men. Because, like, honestly, I know so many people who have found their partners in their 30s. My mom had me when she was 40. I think she met my dad when she was like 38. Correct me if I'm wrong, because she's a big listener of ours. Um,
Yeah.
my sister met her boyfriend at 30. He's like a little bit younger. You can find a younger man if you want. I think he's 28 and they're getting married in France, like Osh. So I just think that there are so many opportunities for you when you don't limit yourself. And honestly, like, I think I need this tattooed on my body. Not actually getting a tattoo, but like, don't be outcome oriented. Like, don't try to treat everything like it needs to have some goal for you or have some result. Like, just go and experience life and enjoy life, and the things that are meant to happen will happen.
1,000% agreed. And also read Atomic Habits, because James Clear also talks about that, how not to be goal and outcome oriented and to be system and process oriented. So focus on the system, focus on the process, focus on the experience, and maybe you'll get what you want out of it. Maybe you won't, but it's still all a learning experience. And don't put these weird pressure on yourself. And yeah, no one's too good to get a dating coach. I think Erica was so freaking amazing and had so much to, I had some, I actually was talking about her yesterday, and just, I learned so much from that episode. And I don't think I'm good, like too good to, have someone like that in my life. But regardless, you're only 30. You have your whole life ahead of you to find someone. Don't put that pressure on yourself. Don't put expectations on. Go on a dating app. There's 36-year-olds on there, so you're fine.
Yeah.
And on the note of books, I also want to recommend The Untethered Soul, because I mean, these conversations that this letter writer might be having with themselves, like, it sounds like a lot of like inner turmoil, and really that's not our present tense. That's not this person's present tense, where like we're always going to hear both sides of an argument in our heads playing out, and there's never really going to be a conclusion if we keep entertaining those voices. But that's only because we're not like here and now living and experiencing what we're meant to be experiencing with others, like how we are now. So yeah, definitely get out of the head and stop thinking, what is this? I'm too old to be attractive. What is that mess?
Yeah,
Like we're
come
all aging
on.
like fine
Imagine
wine.
what's
Like,
like what is your thought process when you're gonna be 40 or 50? Like
right.
how are you gonna get through life if you're thinking like this?
Yeah. And then what happens when you're not attractive? Like, then do you just hate yourself? Like,
The
Right.
world's over.
yeah. And whose
Mm.
definition of attraction are we going off of? Because it seems like that needs an update.
Right.
True.
I want to end by asking both of you, what do you feel like you know now that Osh, you're entering your 30s, Alejandro being in your 30s, that you didn't know when you were in your 20s or early 20s?
Stop caring about what other people think because other people don't really give a shit.
Yeah.
Unless you're being mean to someone. Like don't be mean, like live life as a good person, but like stop caring about what other people think and how other people think about like what their opinions on about you living your life.
I think being less reactionary is so important. And that's something that I've definitely grown into both as I was turning 30, and it's still something that I'm practicing and putting into practice now at this age. So yeah, being less reactionary and like taking a pause when feeling like frantic about something and really understanding the impact of one's actions, not only in that moment, but yeah, long term.
Yeah, I love that.
What about you, Lauren? I mean, you're close to 30.
Yeah, what about you?
Not that close, Osh, but thank you so much.
You're 2 years away. You're closer to 30 than you are to 20.
You're right. You're right. I think what I learned and what I continue to work on is giving everything an opportunity and not closing yourself off from anything. Because I think that in my early 20s, I just tried very, very hard to be good at a lot of things and try to like make everybody around me happy. And I think that like what I'm continuing to work on is just that you can't make everybody happy. And I think I used to sacrifice my well-being a lot for the sake of keeping other people happy. And I think like as I get older, what I continue to work on is just focusing on the things that I can do well, but staying open and just trying things that I have interest in, but may not already be good at. But just keeping an open heart to these things and keeping an open heart to people who I don't know very well, because like I'm in a place right now where I'm meeting new people every day. And realizing that you can have like such a great group of friends already, but there's so many people that are going to continue to come into your life who will open you up to so many other things, and why not give it all a chance?
I love that.
That's something that I really admire about you is your openness and like there's this like embraciveness that you have that radiates, and like I think maybe that's part of the reason why you are having so many people enter your life. I mean, you are in a new atmosphere, you're in a master's program and like, opening so many doors for yourself. But along with that is, yeah, this radiance or this magnetism. That's what I want to say, this magnetism that you possess. And I think that that's, yeah, like I said, so admirable to carry with you in terms of being able to move forward and being open to explore new opportunities and giving your best in everything that you put.
I could
yourself
definitely say
through.
the same thing about you, though, Alejandro. I feel like you also carry yourself with that same energy.
Oh,
And you, Ash.
Oh, thanks, you guys.
And you, all our wonderful listeners. Thank you for being so open-minded and open-hearted with all of our podcast episodes, with our guests who come on. And we would like to continue to be open-hearted with you. So please send us your letters, your trials and tribulations that you may be going through. As you know, you can send them via many different platforms, which are all in our link tree, whether it's voice memo, a DM, a Google form link. The options are open.
And don't forget to rate and subscribe. Please, we are always open to hearing your feedback on what we can do better and how we can incorporate your questions and concerns on a weekly basis.
And we're still running our giveaway. So you can find out how to enter the giveaway via a post that is on our feed right now. It should say 100 episode giveaway that details what you need to enter and what's available to win. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Damsels in the DMs.
Until next time.
It's going down in the DMs.
Bye.
Bye.
DMs, we don't need them, we just leave them.
Please.
Yeah.
It's going down in the DMs. Bye.